So Sharon, here's our senior bear keeper with a number of questions. And Sharon, here you are.
Thank you, Judy. I want to give a shout out to everyone that is watching, and a happy Mother's Day to all our supporters and our families, and thank you for tuning in with us today. We have quite a few questions, and it was interesting to try to get them done when we're doing photo shoots, but in between this morning and 12 o'clock, we had a little break, so I got to do them. So we'll get right to it. I just want everyone to know that what we're doing in the enclosure, it's Jim Stroner and I. He is our professional photographer that has worked with these bears for many years. And no one, of course, else goes in with us, just Jim and I. And sometimes the bears are a little testy about it, and that's what happened yesterday. Holly had been frustrated from the beginning, and then Lucky tuned into that, and both of them had different ways of showing it. They were curious, they were nosy, they were frustrated with getting their pictures and having to go over and over and over where we could get good pictures of them. And they just decided, nope, we're not doing that, and we're going to go after you guys. So the intention was good on their part, and they all know the word no, N-O. That is spoken very, very harshly to them with a pointed finger. And when we do that, they know that they're wrong, and it slows them down. It doesn't stop them. It slows them down, but it gives us time to get out of their way and let them be bears. So that's what happened yesterday, and everybody's safe. All the bears are good, and all went well. So to get to the questions, are there foods that Holly and Tasha don't like? Well, they don't like store-bought strawberries and blueberries. Now, they do like fresh ones if they can pick them themselves. And we do have the wood strawberries, the wild wood strawberries that grow very, very tiny here on the ground. So they do eat those. They eat the raspberries that are abundant here. And we do have a very small supply of blueberries that grow in the back of the pond area. And they do eat those, but it's a very small, whoever gets it first eats it. Tasha in the past liked oranges. Will she be given oranges this year? Tasha gets oranges quite often. She prefers always to have them peeled, as Jack learned last year. And so he would peel them for her, and she would eat them. So yes, Tasha does get oranges still. She's the only bear that really likes them. Do bears get annual medical checkups? Absolutely. It is sanctioned by the USDA that we have them have yearly checkups. We do that in early May, and they just had them on May 7th, which was last Tuesday, and everyone got a good bill of health. We also do scats on each of the bears to make sure there's no parasites in their scat. So we're currently picking up scat and doing that now, and we'll have the results by the end of next week for that. But all the bears are healthy and doing very well. Will Lucky and Holly be together in the bunker during pond construction? No, they won't be. They will be in their individual enclosures, and the reasoning for that is Holly will be going into estrus, which means she will probably not get along real well with Lucky. Lucky needs a little bit more space, so he'll be in the bunkers by himself. Holly will be in the cabin. Tasha will be in the haven, and Ted, of course, in the chalet. So we have got that all planned out. We're trying to plan different enrichment opportunities for the bears, so they're going to get bored, but we're going to try to instigate things that help them not be so bored. And now, Tasha and Holly are getting along so well. Do you think that will change when estrus comes? I absolutely think that will change when estrus comes. As proven in the past, Tasha also goes into estrus, and that's a challenge for Holly, so we'll probably end up having to separate them. But I have a feeling they'll be separated anyway, because it looks like our pond is probably going to, construction is going to occur during the time they're in estrus. why did Holly and Lucky, and we just talked about why Holly and Lucky ran behind Jim and I yesterday. Actually, we were both face-to-face with each bear at a different time. Holly was more focused on me and Lucky on Jim. And we did tell them both sternly no, and we pointed at them, and they backed off, and we were able to get out of the enclosure so everyone could calm down. It's the easiest and the quickest way to deal with these bears. We, of course, had to talk. I went up and talked to each one of them to make sure they knew that we weren't upset with them. But they also have to, have their limits too, and that's the only way that I know to be able to control a situation. I could see it in Holly's eyes, I could see it in Lucky's eyes, and Jim and I talked about it, and I told them what to do, and it worked out well. Which bear is the easiest to photograph? Well, everyone should know that. Ted. I mean, Ted's just a lover. And he's very easy to work with, and he knows everyone that's here. So getting to know, for Ted to be able to sit down or to move where we want him, it takes a little time for us to get him there. But as Jim noticed this year, he says, boy, Ted can move, where before he wasn't so quick, and now his step has got some perk in it. So he was faster than what Jim could get ready to take a picture of this year. So we had to pose him several different times in different areas. The next one that's easiest is, of course, Tasha, and her temperament is very much like Ted's, and she's pretty easy to work with. Holly is, of course, the hardest because she's a little bit more moody, and she doesn't like to put her ears forward. And that's due to, I'm sure, the muscle control in her ears too, from when she had the bad infections when she was a little one. And then there was a question about Ted, what food Ted doesn't like. I haven't found one yet that we serve here at the center. I'm sure there's a variety of things that he wouldn't eat, but the foods that we have here, he eats everything. And will Ted get a new preaching log? Well, that's an interesting question, and I wanted to address that. We have several. We have, at my house, we have a large red pine that we took down last fall, and we're going to, it's in 20-foot pieces right now, and we'd like to get it cut into 4-foot pieces. But the problem isn't cutting it, it's transporting it. So as soon as we get a trailer available, we're going to get those over here. So Ted will have a new one in his enclosure, and there'll be at least one new one out here, and each of the other bears will get one too. So I want to thank everybody for the questions. I hope I got everything. If you got questions in after 12 o'clock, of course they didn't get on this particular piece of paper, but we only have about a half hour to get things ready, and I had less time than that. But Judy very graciously took the behind the scenes at noon that allowed me to work on these. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and again, happy Mother's Day to all, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. Thank you all.